Please tell me I'm not the only one that got them feels when Guy Sensei said that shit at the end of this chapter. I'm not gonna lie, just every time I look at that page and those words, something hits me right here. So before we get into everything else, I really just want to focus on the shit that Kishimoto is stirring up inside of us all. Anybody that is a fan of Might Guy, a little bit of Rock Lee up in there, you will feel the feels that Kishimoto is drumming up. And I'm just thinking to myself right now, if he kills off Guy next week, I'm gonna fucking shed a couple of manly tears. One of the most hilarious people in Naruto, one of the most beast people, and this chapter definitely set up a beautiful setup for what will be, if he indeed does go next week, a very, like, amazing send-off and a very sad send-off at the same time, and a very epic send-off. I mean, like, right now, Kishimoto got us all by the proverbial balls, so to speak, when it comes to our feels with this chapter. I mean, for starters, he already goes Afternoon Tiger, 7 gates, so he already set up that he went in as much as he possibly could without having to go all the way, because he didn't want to, you know, ideally, nobody wants to immediately, okay, 8 gates, I'm just going to kill myself. So the way Kishimoto set it up was very strategic, with guys seeing that, yeah, even at 7 gates, which isn't indeed his limit, he can't do it. So he really feels as though, yeah, I gotta go 8 gates. And the little speech he said that sometimes you can't always do the things you want to do. You have to do the things you have to do in order to be able to do those things you want to do. It was just like, oh my god, them feels, people. Kishimoto doing a beautiful artistic setup to Guy Sensei, and if he does indeed die, then I'd say, like, even though I'm going to be sad as hell, it was one hell of a send-off. With Rock Lee there, I'm curious if Rock Lee is going to actually let him go alone. Is Rock Lee going to say, yo, I'm not going to let you go alone, Sensei. I'm going to be there with you. If you're going to go 8 gates, I go too. Remember the promise you made to me that if I died, then you would go with me. Well, likewise right now. Just talking about this shit, I'm not going to lie, I have goosebumps right now on my arm because this shit is just so good. Kishimoto making use of Guy Sensei, baby. Now, the big, magical, mysterious foot has been revealed, and to be honest with you, I am pretty disappointed for the most part. I mean, I knew it would be a candidate to be Kabuto ultimately, but I'm just like, what was the point of shadowing him out and, you know, playing up this big mystery, drumming it up, if it's just going to be Kabuto? And also, it was just kind of like a little bit weird as to, oh, I have this bad feeling, and then we find out, oh, it might be that he has some of Orochimaru's chakra still in him. So it being Kabuto is just disappointing nonetheless. I mean, I was hoping for something more extravagant, but at the same time, while it does do like this big drum up for no reason, it does show some character development with Kabuto, so you also got to look at it in that aspect as well. While it's like, oh wow, it's just, you know, obviously Kabuto was the point of, you know, drumming it up and whatnot. Yeah, that is a negative, but then you also look at it and it's like, yeah, this chapter showed character development for Kabuto finally finding his purpose and what he wants to do with himself. He's pretty much like, yeah, that home that I had back then, that's what I want to focus on. And it seems as though he's changed for the most part. At this point, if he is still, like, hiding and he's still salty and, like, this is all bullshit, then it's ridiculous to bring him back, drum it all up. So, as of right now, if he is indeed a good guy, while it sucked ass that this was drummed up and we thought it could have been, you know, Shisui, it could have been the Sage's cousin's nephew's uncle's brother, it turns out to be Kabuto, but at the very least, it's like, okay, this character, he got out of Izanami, which means that he definitely finally found himself, and ultimately now he's a different person, a better person for it. So hopefully he stays on that path, and this is where Kabuto ultimately leads throughout the rest of the series, because at this point it's kind of like, if he flip-flops again, then fuck that shit, it's ridiculous. And what the fuck was him knowing everything about Obito now all of a sudden? He's like, yeah, Obito and me, we had these problems, and it was kind of like, when did he know all of this about Obito? I mean, I knew that he knew that that wasn't Madara, but did he know that it was specifically this guy Obito and everything that this guy Obito went through? Was he just hearing everything on the battlefield? Did Tobirama fill him in while he was standing there? Like, how the fuck does he know all of this? So the big thing with the mysterious foot person, while I feel as though definitely it was a waste of time drumming it up, because, you know, I even had a crazy theory, maybe it's the Sage's mother or something that sounds as epic as hell, is ultimately just Kabuto. But at the same token, you look at it as like, yeah, well, he was brought back, and at least he has character development, so there's a good in that as well. Even though, seriously, why the fuck drum it up? Also, quickly want to mention regarding the whole Minato Sage Jutsu, because there's been a lot of controversy regarding that. How the hell does he know Sage Jutsu? When did he know it? It seems as though it was kind of something that he knew more or less, but his Sage Jutsu is kind of, I guess, shit in a way, because even Kakashi's like, yo, your Sage Jutsu ain't all that. What's up, Sensei? So Kishimoto was trying to explain little things here or there, as well as Kakashi taking that blast, I think it was last week or the week before that, and kind of getting back up while he used his Kamui. So Kishimoto tried to fill in some of those gaps that seemingly were plot holes, but now they're kind of like, well, they were covered up for the most part. And Kishimoto loves to continue his ideal of how he has it with Naruto and Sasuke. If you notice, he always says this, you know, while Naruto is training on this side, Sasuke's training on this side. While Naruto goes through this, Sasuke goes through this. So now while Naruto's getting healed by Obito in the other dimension, Sasuke's getting healed by Kabuto in this dimension. And it's kind of weird that the same two dudes that started this war, Obito and Kabuto, are now on the good side. Is like, yeah, you started a fucking war and now you're on the other side. Well, how the hell did this happen? But then again, that Madara Uchiha, he just don't let up though. Overall, with this chapter, I feel as though it did amazing setup with Guy Sensei, the feels, Rock Lee there, the speech that Guy gives at the end. It was poetic, beautiful, and it's just setting up for what might be a very sad death. Ideally, it's like, I don't want Guy to die, but then it makes so much sense for him to die at the same time, because it's like, yeah, he needs to do what needs to be done, and if he goes 8 gates, then there's no turning back. It's been said several different occasions, going 8 gates, you die afterwards. So if he does indeed go, or him and Rock Lee go 8 gates, it's just going to be like, oh my god, what if we get like 2 deaths at once? So beautiful setup with that. As far as the whole Kabuto situation, the negative of it, and this entire chapter for that matter, the negative of it was definitely it being Kabuto, because it was shadowed and drummed up for it, and then it's ultimately just some dude that we've known all along, and it's kind of like, so Orochimaru couldn't sense him, Karin couldn't sense him, they sent some negative shit, and it seems as though it was going one completely different way. It's like Kishimoto was trying to say, yeah man, he has bad chakra, none of them know him, it can't be Kabuto, and then it's Kabuto, but at the same time it also brings forth Kabuto into the picture once again with character development, with him finally finding his motive of who he wants to be in life. So there's a positive to it. Just overall though, it's kind of like no need this entire time to have drummed him up to be somebody else that he isn't. But then again, that's Kabuto's identity all along. And overall, what the fuck is up with Kabuto knowing every detail about Obito? I feel as though he all of a sudden knows everything. I mean, he knew that that wasn't Madara, but when did he know that everything, you know, it was this guy Obito and his entire story? I'm gonna leave it more so in the lines of very good, 8.5 out of 10. Very good setup at the end, some character development for Kabuto, and just overall it looks as though Naruto and Sasuke are going to be back in the game shortly soon, because now Sasuke is being healed by Kabuto as seen, and Naruto's being healed in the other dimension by Obito, so they'll be back up soon. And if these 8 gates don't finish the job on Madara and Guy dies in vain, then I'm going to be like, oh my god, we just gotta wait and find out, baby. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, you get them feels at the end with Guy Sensei setting up for seems to be a death bomb. Also, what did you think regarding the reveal of it being Kabuto? Were you disappointed? Were you just like, whatever at this point? And what do you think about his character development as well, of him kind of finding the resolve of who he wants to be and his identity at this point? What's up with him knowing every little detail about Obito now? Did he hear it from somebody? Did he know it all along and just kind of never showed signs that he knew everything about him? And just your overall thoughts of the chapters. Did you get a kick out of that ending? But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Maito Guy. I cannot wait to see what Kishimoto's gonna do with Guy, because it's Guy Sensei, baby. He's coming in, and if he goes out with a bang, then I will honor that man. For ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.